There we go. Sorry, didn't know how that happened. Anyway, have you ever had one of these simple pathway lights go bad and you're not sure what to do? So what I'm doing is I am taking them apart, and inside is a simple LED light which then shines down on the inside of the hood. And then these are the resistors, which I'm cutting out, which then go into the stock of the low voltage light like this. I cut them out, and then I'm going to replace them with a simple 2-pin connector. And what that means is I strip this side, I then strip this side, and then we then connect them. And here's a finished one, which is pretty simple. How do I do this? Let's see. So, there's a 2-pin connector. Whoops. So it falls. And then what I did was I wired them together. So this simple soldering connection, which is found on Amazon, makes this whole system workable because we're taking the 2-pin connector and putting a 2-pin bulb on top with these simple solder in place with a simple heat gun down into place. And because I'm live and I'm by myself right now, I can't show you the complete process, but simply turn your heat gun on to low, right? Hold on real quick, let's see if I can get this together. Bear with me for 1 second. Let's see if this works. Hold on. So, take the simple 2-pin connector, right? And my simple wire strippers from Home Depot. Love these things. These are by Klein, and they work really well. They have different blade sizes for the stripping, which makes it super simple. And a little bit of Madonna and KR 101 in the background make it much more simpler. Anyway, real simple. Come through, strip pull. Real simple strip pull, right? So you get more wire. And then I already did it to this side of it. So I have the wires set. And what I do is I take this wire, I fold it over. And then I take this side, and I put the wire connector. And this thing, if you look at it closely, has a simple metal strip in the middle, basically solder. So when you shrink it, if you remember Shrinkadinks and you're old like me, back in the 70s, we had Shrinkadinks where we used to put it into the oven. And then what you do is you set it there. Then you take this side, and then you wire twist it, right? Make sure it's as firm as possible, nice and tight. You bend it over, right? And then you take this wire connector, and then you feed it back through. Which sounds simple, and don't be surprised if you get to this point and then it comes off. But this time, whoops, see, slipped right out. Be patient with it. It doesn't like to work. Who likes to get burnt? Not me. There's a funny story in back of that. And if you ask a couple people about what I know about being burnt, Christmas time was not fun. So you're going to refeed it through. And your metal bar is a little bit heavy, so make sure that you can anchor it. And I'm on my toolbox, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. So feed that through until you get to that sweet spot. The sweet spot is the connectors are right there in the middle, right? So hold that right there. Make sure your heat gun. Whoop. As everything starts falling, don't fall down. So turn it on, and don't turn it on your camera. The screen does not like that. Turn it on to low. Let it sit for a minute, and then let it get hot. Watch your fingers, because it will get very hot. And as you start to shrink it, you'll start to see it come down in size. The nice part is that when you do this, the solder inside grips the wires. This shrinks the plastic, and that extra blue plastic then shrinks tight around your connection. I don't know if you can see that too well, but it's shrunk significantly. Shut off your heat gun. You don't want to get burnt. Or hang it off the side like I did before. And then you are connected. But make sure that everything is careful. So that's tight, right? Those wires are connected. Not going to come apart. And then go on to number 2. Exact same thing. Fold it over. Feed this through. And this is not foolproof. You have to practice a few times. So, wire twist that. And get it a real good twist. Because when you start feeding them back through, you don't want it to then fail. So fold it back over. Slide it down. And I've practiced a few times. Obviously you haven't, so be patient with yourself. Take some time. And then this connection actually makes it waterproof as much as possible. And nothing is waterproof, by the way. You need to make sure that you take the time, practice. And I've been at work all day, so if I look a little tired and I'm doing this, it's only because I've done this a few times and I'm ready for the basics of being patient and then making that solder shrink down to almost nothing. So this is really simple.
Hold on.
Because
my brain is having a mind fart. What body part did
Hold on!
Ronnie have?
Hold on, I'm live and she wants to go into body parts that were just taken out from a friend who had a gallbladder removal.
Gallbladder.
And I'm live on YouTube right now, so.
Sorry. I'll leave now.
That's a blooper beyond bloopers. So that's a complete solder job. That's tight. And you can see really fast it's not hot. So, but please be careful. But this is really simple. So you can take something as cheap as this and then turn it into a simple 2-pin connector. You can find the 2-pin lights over at Home Depot and just then plug them in on top. Just like that. There's 2 pins. And all of a sudden you have a professional light, really cheap. You did inside of your garage. But understand, this takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of love and time, and all of a sudden your lights pop on. So let me show you some that I did in my front yard. Hold on real quick. 1 second. I hope I have enough.